Today we're going to do kind of a steampunk look on this old dresser. Do you remember these from the 60s or the 70s? I think you could order them from Finger Hut. It's like a cardboard dresser. We're going to give it a new look. Let's head off to the dollar store. Today we're looking for texture. Dollar store is great for getting lots of small supplies, and for what we're looking for, I think it might be perfect. Even the drawers. It's a cardboard dresser. What do you think of that? And it's got like this plastic on it. They put quilted tablecloth on it. I ended up spending about $8 at the dollar store. I didn't end up using all of it, but it'll go to use for something. Didn't end up using the original poles. I didn't like them. They didn't feel right for what I was doing. So I went ahead and searched through my drawer and found some other ones that suited more. We're going to go ahead and put those on. They had put that sheet of plastic over the top of this, and I really wanted some texture. So this little sheet of wallpaper is going to work perfect for that. I used Gorilla Glue spray adhesive to hook it on. Let's go ahead and give this whole thing a coat of Little Black Dress. Really liking the way that tiled wallpaper is giving me a lot of texture up there. I just love anything shiny, all the old costume jewelry, any beads, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to dig through my stash and see if we can find some other cool stuff to use on this piece. I'm always looking for this kind of stuff when I go to garage sales or flea markets or estate sales. It's just so cool to have. Over the years, my grandma or my mom must have put some tape on here to reinforce it. So I'm going to use regular spackle just to build up some texture in those areas and get rid of that smooth mark of the tape. While we wait for that to dry, I'm going to mix up some Valspar glaze, a little bit of Prussian blue, and let's see if we can get a little bit of crackle going on. I'm going to paint all my little this and that pieces with Little Black Dress. If you take a piece of cardboard and rip off part of it, you get that corrugated part. I think it looks pretty cool, so we're going to use that. And now we're going to use a little bit of that beading that we got at the dollar store. I used a variety of different glues, kind of trying to see which ones I like best. If I had to pick, I would go with E6000 and 527 glue. taking all my old jewelry and beads and, well, anything I can find that looks kind of cool and just building up a couple areas so that I can get some interest in those. I let that dry overnight, and now I'm going to give it all a little bit more of Little Black Dress. I'm going to be using liquid patina for the rest of the time, mixing it in with my colors. It's going to give me a little bit more workability, a little bit more movement, almost like a glaze. Using a stencil brush that I have, I'm going to go ahead and just start kind of dry brushing it on in random areas. As we add color after color, I'm really just looking to highlight all those little pieces that I hooked on there. I decided to try a chip brush. As it turns out, it was just a little bit too harsh, a little too firm. I started getting a little bit of brush strokes, and I'm not a fan of that. That chip really made all my junk pop out. The key to this look is all these layers, all these different colors really help to pull it all together in the end. Now it's time to make our rusty color. We're going to use layered chocolate. We're going to put in some queen bee and quite a bit of fire starter. I mixed up way too much of this color. Definitely was not necessary. Now that we have that pretty cool rust color, we're going to go ahead and get it on there. I'm using like a stipple circular kind of a motion. Now that we have that coat on there, let's add some texture. I'm pulling in some sand that I got from the dollar store, but you could use coffee grounds or sawdust or, well, anything that'll give you some texture. Now we're going for that crusty, grungy look. So I'm going to dab this on, really trying to keep that sand on there to like build it up and make it like good and crusty, like rust. have to say, at this point, I'm pretty happy with the way this cardboard dresser is holding out. I was a little worried. Let's go back in with the slightest amount of fire starter and highlight it. I'm going to use a bit of this. It is a mica powder made by American Paint Company. You can get it from my friend Kathy. It's pretty cool stuff. I'm going to dip it into my liquid patina, which will get it to adhere to my brush so that I can apply it in these deep spots, building up some depth. I used some copper paint and DIY's clear wax to make my own copper wax. You can mix clear wax with any color you want to create whatever color wax you want. I really wanted this to be darker, deeper, so shellac was a good answer to that. Also, I didn't have to mess with trying to get into all those little areas with all that stuff on it.
We are who we are. Why don't I be me and you be you? We're spreading color.
To try DIY paint, don't forget to look in the comments below. You guys are awesome. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and remember, only you can make it happen.